Hi everyone, I'm Matt. Welcome back. This is Night Call. We're back. I haven't recorded in around 10 days, and it's 9th February, which means I basically haven't done anything. Oh, I forgot. At the start, it's always like that. But here we were last time. We didn't find any new clues, so we're just gonna end the night with a heavy hand. You wipe your tired face. Sorry if there's any point where I stop talking. I've been having classes, so I haven't been able to record, which means I haven't warmed my voice up. And yeah, you lie down on the sofa bed, its frame creaks. The events of the day run through your head. Blah blah blah. Yeah. Oh, that was new. You shake your head and your mind wanders for a second, and then you're about to fall asleep. She's not telling the whole truth. You jump without understanding the voice is coming from. Outside, Paris is waking up, and you fall asleep. Not sure how many nights there are in this game. Maybe a lot, maybe 10, but we'll see. You open one eye. For a second there, you hope the evidence board was just a dream too, but you can make it out in the shadows. Get up quickly, and a few minutes later you're outside the studio. Night 5. Alright, let's put this lady over here. Let's actually listen to the radio because usually there's some new things you're trying to find. Listen to news. The anchor is talking about the death of a major French composer of film scores. He lists the films the composer worked on, and you're surprised to discover you can't recognize most of them. Never have thought a French guy could have worked on so many American movies. As soon as you know. Well then, that's not very useful then, eh? Then, eh? Well, let's go to this lady then. And let's see what goes on. Sure, it's a short to kilometer ride. Beautiful woman climbs in your cab. There's something sensual and comforting about her. No, I just missed it, but don't worry, I'm taking a cab. Anyhow, I just want you to know. From when you think, oh shoot, I think you really enjoyed it today. You start the cab and notice a hands-free headset practically hidden by her thick head of her hair. I'll massage his feet tomorrow, and I'll let you do the rest. A small laugh escapes her. Or the other way around, sure. And cruise, it's normal to feel a little awkward at first, or uncomfortable. I mean, not knowing what to do, but you'll see a couple more days and you'll get the hang of it. Anyhow, you should get to bed now. You need to keep up your strength. She stopped talking, her phone call is over. She catches your eye in the rearview mirror and bursts out laughing. You look shocked. Uh, Not at all. Your pencil across her legs and gives you a playful pound. Just, I don't believe you. You're letting your imagination run wild. What exactly are you imagining? That I'm on my way home from a threesome or something? There's a mischievous gleam in her eye. Could be. She lowers her gaze and turns her head. All of a sudden. Serious all of a sudden. But I'm not. The truth isn't that rosy. Actually, I was at my son's house. I've been taking care of him since his accident. I'm a nurse. Oh, sorry. Don't be. You had nothing to do with it. She pauses dramatically. At least, I don't think you did. You don't happen to drive a semi in your spare time, do you? A smile of dry amusement flickers across your passenger's face. Anyway, he's been in a coma for weeks now. Oh god, why did I say that so enthusiastically? Grade 2. Grade 2? Grade II? Not a total vegetable, but not all that hard yet either. So I had them move him to his place. Chris and I are taking care of him now. Yeah, I couldn't stand going to rehab anymore. You should see how they treat people there. It's the worst unit, and commons can go on that for months. No change. Luckily, the head doctor, Her client begins mechanically tapping her fingers on her left hands. You can hear the dull tap 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 sound. Let's just say he has a hard time saying no to me. And that I thought my little Tutian would be just as well off in his own bed, with his girlfriend there to take care of him, seeing she doesn't work at all and all. But it's a little too much for but it's a little much for Cruz, of course. So I'm helping out. Cruz is his girlfriend? His fiance. A lovely girl. Your passenger puts her hand to her mouth to smother a giggle. It's only inhibited, but sweet, very religious. She prays in Spanish at his bedside every night. They've been going out for 2 years now, and I still don't know. I still don't think they've. She blushes. Well, you know. A brief silence. You find yourself trying to think of something to say. Rachel doesn't answer right away. You're afraid to embarrass her, but her face looks relaxed. I work in a palliative care, you know. I spent the last 8 years of my life taking care of people who are going to die. The only question worth asking is, how long before they die? It helps keep things in perspective. In my son's case, there is still hope, and at least I can help. I mean, I know how to do it anyhow. For one thing, there's the day-to-day stuff. Nails, hair, beard, not grows like crazy. There's a lot of maintenance, like a gardener. Same for the teeth. We have to brush them every now and then. Because, believe me, if Tudin wakes up looking and smelling like a werewolf, we'll never hear the end of it. A smile escapes you. Your passenger sees it in the rearview mirror and is clearly pleased. But the biggest risk is not being able to move. Our bodies are meant to move. I know, it's hard to believe when our alarm clocks go off. But it's true. Our blood circulation stops working correctly. Our skin gets cold, loses all its elasticity. So you have to massage him as often as we can. And then there are the bed sores. Do you know what bed sores are? No. It's what happens to your skin when the weight of your body is too much. It splits open into like the Dead Sea. What? Oh. Or the Red Sea, I should say. In the hospital, there are a lot of patients who are still conscious and who have bed sores. What? Oh my god. That sounds so gruesome. Their bodies are racked with pain. It's like being skinned alive. Yeah, I could imagine. Not really, but The worst part is we have to change their bandages twice a day? Working in the hospital is hard. The work is pretty depressing, but in Tutian's case, it's different. I don't have a choice. It has to be done. And actually, I'm happy. We can't talk to each other anymore. He doesn't even react when I touch him. So taking care of him is just my way of showing him I love him. That's a good thing, isn't it? Yes, it is. Pretty odd, huh? That's how it goes. The passenger shudders briefly. Okay, Patricia, enough of that depressing stuff. Let me tell you something funny. Earlier tonight, when Cruz and I were watching Tutian, I still don't know. I'm not French. Not exactly a pleasure cruise. My son is well over 6 feet tall, and Cruz is across between a matchstick and a Q-tip. So I was managing her as best as I could, rolling him onto one side and then the other. She was trying to help, though the truth is pretty hard for her to say. I mean, it's all new there. Can't be that much fun. So she was muttering religious mumbo jumbo to herself in Spanish, Dios mío and whatnot. And just as I was rolling Tituan back onto his back, guess what? He got an enormous erection. For once, he started to laugh. Your passenger joins in. The two of you enjoy a good long laugh. After a while, your passenger manages to get her breath. A big old Haran. First, she turned bright red, and then she pulled the sheets up over him as fast as she could. The passengers marked a short pause and precise what's coming. But it looked even worse, just like Casper the ghost. Wheels of warm laughter fill the air from your happy as if a weight had been lifted. You pull up the address she had given you, stop the cab, and she hands you the fare. Thanks for the conversation. The ride went by really fast. She reaches for the door, then stops. You can sense she's really on edge. It's good to be able to talk. Pretty unusual in Paris to meet someone so warm. Good luck. She shrugs automatically as if she answered what you meant. Same to you. She shuts the door carefully, then walks away. I don't really know what I meant by good luck as well, but that's besides the case. Your eye follows her as she climbs steps to the door of her building. A moment later, she's gone. And she starts the cab, you signs of something on the back seat, a Kleenex. You wriggle around to pick it up. You unfold the handkerchief, you see the word Patricia and a phone number written inside. You look up at the beginning and smile. You notice a newspaper on the back seat. Your last pencil must have left behind, or the other one before. You grab it and put it away. Could come in handy. Turn the key in ignition and drive away. Wow. Let's read the newspaper. You pull a newspaper out of your glove compartment and start leafing through it. Eventually, something grabs your eye. It's a positive critique of a bar called Solis. You make note of the information with interest. In your line of work, that kind of thing can always come in handy. Excuse me. Hope you guys didn't hear that. You turn the page and stop. You've read about a third of the newspaper. You stop reading and go back a few pages. You thought you saw something. It's an article about the recent PolySleeks incident that retraces another data leak. 2 years ago, a bunch of confidential police documents were accidentally released. Documents about Ronan Basin, Charles Bougrain, and Simon Gordisher, the judge's first three victims. Intriguing. You only have a third left to read. As soon as you get to the page, you stop. Your instinct, I'm assuming. Your instinct tells you to look at. It's a quite involved article about the infamous Paul Sneaks affair. Who, why, and how all that confidential data was released to the public. The Justice Department is now looking at corrupt and violent cops who are known to be out of line. Concerned associations about how transparent they are being. Yet, the more you read, the more you get the impression that the journalist does not agree with their methods. You shut the paper, it'll end up in the trash tonight. Remember it's there, otherwise, it will spend the rest of its days in your glove compartment. Huh. Interesting. You pull over, stop at the gas station, not a soul in sight. The fluorescent light irritates your eyes, and the smell of pee is wafting up the space in between the pumps. It's self-service here, you pay directly at the pump. The mini mart is over there, not selling newspapers. The person behind the counter might see and hear things. Maybe we're asking a couple of questions. Get out of the taxi and are struck with the feeling that you are the last person on earth. Thankful. Under the shop, walking in the mini mart. The guy behind the counter doesn't even look at you when he starts to talk in a lazy, lifeless tone. Yeah. Right? For sales, perdu. Losing ticket, no luck. Ah, these are lottery tickets. Alright. Look at the clerk. This serial killer business is crazy. The clerk cuts you off, pointing an angry finger at the newspaper on display in front of him. Have you seen how much the police suck at catching him? You smile and let him keep talking. Ooh. The guy behind the counter palely looks at you as you leave. Alright, interesting. Nothing else. Let's see. You get in a taxi and drive away. Night's still young. It's not even midnight yet. Let's read the newspaper. People on the newspaper have blah 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 blah. Eventually, come to grab your eye. Sir, what's you can intrigue on about? Oh, God. Are you serious? It's the same damn newspaper? No, it's not. It's on a controversial subject. The people are appealing in an international class action suit. They still haven't seen a single cent of compensation. The article describes hundreds of people affected with partial or total paralysis, nerve damage, and Parkinson's. The victims are ready to fight for as long as it takes. You only have a third left to read. As soon as you get the page, you stop. Your instinct tells you to look at. It's a short article mentioning the strike led by a handful of employees of Confiserie du Marais, a luxury candy brand. I don't know if that's how you say it, but I'm just gonna say it that way. The employees demand better wages. The owners, the Groupe Diamant, are threatening to relocate their factories abroad. You shut the papers, will end up in the trash tonight. If you remember, it's there. Blah 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 blah. All right. Passenger. Sure. Let's go. This woman over here. Is there a robot? Côté d'eau. Côté d'eau, please. Côté d'or. Your passenger is heavily pregnant. You go to help her inside, but she waves you away with her hand. I'm fine. Judging from her accent, she's not from Paris, not from France, English, or maybe American. Things just take a bit longer these days. She settles in, adjusting her coat around her huge belly. You gun the accelerator and set off. Instinctively, you find yourself driving more deliberately, not slower. Just carefully. You regard the woman in the mirror. She's staring out of the window with 1,000-yard stare. Her hands wringing themselves around each other like a fistful of snakes. Your French is pretty good. She glances at the back of your head. I know. Where are you from? She sighs deeply. It's obviously not the first time she's heard the question. I'm from the UK. Wait, Manchester. I'm from Manchester. I mean, that's in the UK, but the distinction is important, especially these days. Say the UK and everyone assumes you're from London. I freaking hate London. You've driven a fair few British people over the years. Most don't speak a word of French. Many had an odd sense of pride in their lack of language ability. But, accent aside, the young woman behind you is fluent. I didn't mean to offend. She looks away from the window and into your eyes. You try a smile. Her face softens. Don't worry about it. You get used to it. There's worse things you could have opened with. She shifts uncomfortably. I don't know much about Manchester. Not even United or City? At first you don't get the reference, then you realize she's talking about football. I don't really follow that. I do! Smart man, bunch of overpaid wankers kicking a fancy balloon about. If it's not, oh, you're from London, it's which team do you support? Spare me. Oh my god. Oh. She pauses and runs a hand over her belly. We miss it. Manchester. Market Street on the way home from work. Park Lane Park on Sunday morning. Ricky's tea and a bacon barn. She sighs and looks down at her bump. She hasn't stopped kicking since we left. She's a feisty one, that's for sure. That's her French side. She's half French? Not sure it's half. I am the one doing the heavy lifting. But definitely a good third or so, yeah. That's why I'm over here. Ahmed insisted the little bugger pops out over here. Gets herself an EU passport. Smile on her face dies in place. She stares out of the window again. And you need to get out of the UK after everything that happened. You mean the political situation? She sighs. Frickin' Brexit. I know, right? I still don't know what's happening with Brexit. It's 2020. It's 2021. Brexit was like 3 years ago, and I still don't understand if Brexit has happened or not. As soon as she spoke, her mouth folds into an O, and a groan spills from her throat. I swear every time I talk about Brexit, Grimace. She kicks the she kicks the ever living thing off my freaking womb. She rubs her belly and mumbles a few soothing words. After a moment, she returns her attention to you. But yeah, freaking viewer. I mean, no one thought it was actually going to happen. You'd see the campaigners out on the streets, remain and leave. You'd pass them off as fanatics or something. I wasn't into politics, but when it's on the news every night, something leaks through. Something gets you thinking. I mean, it was more into it than I was. Kept bringing home these flyers, blue for Remain, red for Leave, like it was a freaking primary school popularity contest or something. You look back, you notice her hand go to her mouth. She starts plucking nervously at the bottom lip. It looked insane. From the outside, I mean. Didn't feel insane. Not at first. At first it was exciting. I've never voted before. Couldn't be arsed. It was always either this old frick or that one that got in. But this felt real, you know? Like you could actually make a difference. When the results came back, there was about 20 minutes of celebration. Then the brakes kicked on something harsh. Walking to work that morning, you couldn't help but judge everyone. Like, I wonder which way she voted. There were a couple of fights at work, like proper fights, fists swinging all over the place. If there's one thing insecure about freaking men, if there's one thing insecure freaking men need, it's something to throw punches about. How did your partner take it? Bad, worse than me. I didn't see him cry before that. Came home from work and we just hugged till he stopped shaking. When his grand died, his freaking family dog. Never so much as a tear. But this was too much. Had to cry myself. After it turned out all those twats in London didn't know what the frick to do next. Yeah, it unraveled pretty quick. Things got real bad after. I might have had a few run-ins with Brexiteers. You know, the hardline knobs with Union Jack, hoodies, and Winston Churchill tattoos. Most just told him to frick off home. He could deal with that. He'd had the same over here. But one group. We were together one time and the group of them told me to frick off with him. Called me a traitor. Idiot squared up to him. Things got tense. First time I've ever been glad to see a copper. So yeah, we fricked off. Wasn't worth it over there. My job had dried up anyway. No one wanted to hire a foreigner. Been staying with his lot over here ever since. Spare room. His mom don't speak a word of the Queens. Her dad tries blazing. They love baked beans. He smiled to herself. But now this one's almost here. I don't know. I don't freaking know. She steps again, the seat creaking under her weight. That's a sound you seldom hear. What would you have done? I mean, if you'll ever have a Frexit vote or something, how would you vote? The EU isn't perfect. It's pretty bad actually, from what I've heard. But division isn't an answer. It's a statement. And the people behind such statements have their own goals. Goals that aren't on any billboards or flyers. Your answer seems to shake your passenger. She tugs on her lip aggressively and her other hand balls itself to her fist. She sniffs. Everyone was so scared. After the vote, yeah. But before and all, we had the Remain side telling us how fricked we were if we left. Oh no, was my volume really freaking loud from before? I didn't even realize. It's been 10 days, I'm sorry guys. It's been 10 days and I recorded something. The leavers telling us how fricked we'd be if we stayed. But I saw Ma'am raise me and my brother on nothing. Nothing. Benefits didn't amount to anything. No one wanted to help a black single mother fight for kids. And we get these frickers turning up at our house telling us how much worse off we'd be if we leave. I mean, how much worse could it have gotten? When you're in the bottom of your life, change becomes very freaking attractive. If you had people offering you the same old, and others pushing for something new, promising change and a new start, how the frick do you think you're gonna vote when the same old ain't giving you anything? You voted leave? What else was I gonna do? She sucks a gallon of air into her lungs and continues. Before the vote, it was all about making our own laws again, stopping people 2,000 miles away telling us how to live. Her accent thickens as her voice cracks. It were about making sure we were looked after, you know? Mam's almost on her pension. I just wanted to do best by her. There was no talk of stopping anyone who ain't English living there. It weren't about that to me. She sniffs again. And now it's all fricked. You pull up to her destination and she fumbles her fare over to you. Sorry about all that. No problem, I understand. Yeah. At least over here. Oh shoot. I don't have to. Oh, stop clicking, Han! I never thought I meant that voted the way I did. You wouldn't understand. She moves to leave. You could help her again, but she smiles very visual at you. Really, it's okay. But I appreciate the offer. It makes me feel welcome. A few moments later, she walks slowly to a door. Her hands continue to twist themselves into shape as she waits for an answer, until finally she disappears inside. You sigh and set off into the night. Wow. Damn. So yeah, I don't know what's happening with Brexit. Like, is it? Oh God, what is happening? I don't know what's happening with Brexit. I don't know if Brexit has happened or not. It's all complicated mess, political and everything, which I won't get into because I don't want politics to be on this channel. I mean, no one barely watches my videos anyway, so whatever. The passenger who gets into the cab greets you in uncertain tones. Good evening. You tried. That's a woman. Why am I trying to get a male voice? You try to answer as warmly as possible. Good evening. Good evening. I want to stop short, trembling as if in a panic. She looks at you and attempts a smile. Her face tells you she's been crying. She begins pouring her heart out. Her heart out. A flood of sorrow fills the cab. I've lost my cat. She shakes her head as if chasing a bad dream. I know, it's pretty silly, it's pathetic, but I lost my cat. She holds up a poster of a missing animal. Her name is Crookie. It's a cat from the other night. You're sure of it? Listen, I know this is going to sound crazy, but someone saw my cat get into a cab. So I called your company and asked which taxis were in the neighborhood the night he disappeared. You were the only one. I need your help. Her tone is increasingly insecure. Please tell me, you know where he is? Where is Crookie? Where is my cat? She takes a deep breath. It's a question of life and death. Life and death. I don't want to betray the damn cat. He just wanted to be free. But I can't lie. Francine, if you're loving owner, I hope that I'm gonna tell you the truth, but I hope that you'll take care of him properly and give him the freedom he wants. She sets up straight with a jerk. That's wonderful. Where is he? Take me there. He took the train. The train? She looks down at the poster in her hand. That's why he stole my money. I knew he was up to something. He's so smart for a little ball of fluff. Did you talk to him? You remain quiet. I'm sure you talked to him. Crookie not just any old cat, you know. He saved my life. I adopted him when he was still a tiny kitten. Took care of him, spoiled him, fed him for weeks. Took time off work to take care of this little thing. Knew right away he was unlike other cats. He was different. I stood up for him too. When my friends said he was just taking too much room in my life, I dropped them. When they told me he couldn't come with me to work anymore, I changed companies. He's the only reason I get out of bed in the morning. Please, I'm begging you. When my mother died, I decided to get a cat. I thought it would take my mind off of things, get me interested in something else, and then she stares at you. I'm going to ask you one last time. Do you know where the cat is? Yeah, I do. Your cat got into my cab. Her eyes flashed with hope. Drove him to Salazar. Duville? Maybe. He's in Duville. I'm sure of it. He loves it there. Could you stop the car, please? Pull over the sidewalk. Thank you. She lowers her gaze. I know I was a little too much for him. Might have been a little suffocating. And nobody seems to understand. Nobody. That's not helping. She looks you straight in the eye. What do you mean? To love someone so much, you lock them up, you suffocate them. It's not healthy. For a cat, for a man, for a woman. She says nothing. You hear her struggling to catch her breath. Thank you. I think I need to hear that. I'm going crazy. Her voice drops to a whisper. Crazy. She opens the car door and hands you a banknote at the same time. I need to be alone. She gets out of the cab and walks away without shutting the door. The next minute, she's gone, slowed up, swallowed up by the night. Get out and close the door. You take a deep breath, your lungs freeze. You wait another minute, then get back inside and start the engine. Well then. Let's go to this guy. I need a cab. Quick! Pull up in front of the American Embassy. Can't recall ever picking up a customer here. Something. I wait, we keep clicking. Or a contract with a private company. Door opens, you take an immediate liking to the guy who gets in. You find him somehow reassuring, like a lost tourist. He babbles something in English. You have to listen hard to make out the address. Sorry, I'm just back in Paris. I've forgotten my manners. His name is Milo. Milo is a drink. It's a milk company drink or something. He flashes you a sparkling smile. His voice is tinged with a slight American accent. I can't do an American accent, so I'm not even gonna try again. You turn the key in the ignition. Thanks. What's your name, pal? I'm surprised to him use the familiar do form straight off the bat. You first. If I really reveal my name, I will have no other choice. I will have to kill you. Well, I know your name. He pauses, way too long to be joking. His face darkened. It's a different man on the seat behind me. Then, his face creases in a grin. Hey, amigo, I'm joking. I work for the CIA, that's all. You're an undercover agent? Yeah, you could say that. Is that why your French is so good? I speak 8 other languages too. You give a low whistle. Not bad for a Yankee, eh? He bursts into laughter. No wonder I'm a spy. Hey, amigo. Sure. She. He slumps back in the seat a little, as if he'd been knocked from on the head. I've been overdoing it lately. Doctor tells me I need to lay off the booze, or I won't make it through the year. His hand flourished nervously in the air. I was speaking Spanish all day. I've got a splitting headache. My buddy from Cuba and me, we were at this meeting. It went on forever. Kind of weird. Oh, that. Can't talk about that yet, amigo. But maybe tomorrow, you'll hear something on the radio. You say to yourself, of course, it's Milo, he's the one, and you'll be right. I will be. I'll give you a clue though. It has to do with Cuba. It gives a strange sign, a funny look in his eyes. We should have kept Cuba. Kept Cuba? Yeah, like 100 years ago, it belonged to the good old US of A. Didn't you know? I mean, it wasn't exactly ours, but it was sort of ours. You know what I mean? Give a nod. We helped them gain independence, gave them a lot of help, in fact, military votes. Those were good old days. Sudden below of laughter gives you quite a start. I bet you don't even know all the American mafiosi moved there. The mafiosi? Yeah, the Italians. Know what I mean? Like in the movies, Don Corleone, Cosa Nostra, had casinos there in the 50s. You know, you could go for a week, fat words of cash changing hands and all. 1940s. Boy! They sure were good old days, the entire decade was. How old are you? Not saying from personal experience, of course. Now, don't get me wrong, I wasn't even born back then. Gives you a wink. When I first joined the company, the old timers, that's all they've ever talked about. The good old days, the suits, the big cars, how they get back to Miami on Monday mornings, go straight in the office. Miss out on all that. Besides, of course, this boy stick with emotion. But that's a thing of the past now. The day we make plans and presentations, we produce statistics and spreadsheets, staring at you intently. We take turns. My turn one day, yours the next. It's not the same anymore. You have to change with the times, or try and blow all your savings on booze. What exactly do you do? I'm a government facilitator. In marketing? In some ways, yeah. I help people make the right choices by getting rid of competition. Believe me, this is coming from an American. Nobody likes competition. Competition is just a way of getting people all worked up. It keeps them busy, controls what it's really about. It's actually on the shoulder. Last stop, amigo. Pull over. The street is dark, lifeless, perfectly quiet. You see that little side street over there? Do not yes. The best bar in Paris is on it, run by Venezuelans. The owner could have been finance minister, you know. But instead, he runs the best joint in town. And all because the CIA prefer meeting spreadsheets. Tough luck on the Venezuelans. And so much the better for me. His roar laughter nearly pierces your eardrums. He gets out the cab, shakes your hand, handing you the fare and then some. Your eye follows his booky form as it crosses the street and turns into the dark alleyway. You sit there for a minute, somewhat confused. It's a strange one, not all that unpleasant really, and yet utterly vile. You start up the cab. Give me 31 pence. Cents, I don't know. 95. So we aren't making a profit, which might mean that we might not be able to live. Take a few minutes to update your report with new clues. Enable flush the toilet at the corner of my eye. You can see the pipe shake. Get to work. Alright. No documents, eh? It said that we got new clues. Alright then. Well, I guess that will be it for this episode of Night Call. Of course, we had Salim Wadian, who we know 100% that he's not the killer. We still have Hervey and Pierrot, who both we have met. We have met Campos as well. I don't think we've met Paul-Marie Fragonard, but we will see. So, this one is not the one as well. So, thank you guys very much for watching this video. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Goodbye.